Here inside the Q, Cavs wrapping up their 4-game homestand in style, 118-114 against the Utah Jazz. Chris Fedor, Joe Vardon, and Chris Haynes with you. And guys, you don't want to make too much about what happens in November, but the Cavs talked about in the locker room after the game, and David Blatt talked about in the locker room after the game, how much they wanted this win tonight against Utah. What stood out to you from this 4-game homestand, Chris?
Well, I think what stood out, I mean, you can call it, I guess if you're thinking glass half empty, you can call it complacency and then they're finally ratchet up at the end of the game. Or you can call it perseverance or, you know, establishing a sense of urgency, glass half full. But I think right now, 4-game winning streak at home, the 4-game homestand, they took care of business. That's all that matters. These teams, I keep talking about it, you know, these teams that they played, the Knicks, Philly, Indiana, Utah, they're not up to par with the Cavs. And sometimes you play down to a level of competition that's normal. I don't expect that to continue on, but as of right now, you have to give props to the Cavaliers and what they're able to do.
Joe, the thing that stands out to me is the fact that the Cavs, throughout the 4-game homestand, found different ways to win basically every single night, including tonight, scoring 118 points against the best defense in the NBA.
Yeah, I agree. They have found ways to win that are different each night, but there's one thing that's the same, especially over these last two, and that's David's had to play LeBron more minutes. And it's something that I think you mentioned, Chris, that they really, one of the Chris's mentioned that the Cavs really wanted these last 2 games, which is fine. That's great. But they've had to win them playing LeBron higher minutes than he wants to play and that David wants to play him. You know, tonight I think it was 38. You know, the goal is 33, 34. So the point here is that the Cavs are not yet at a point where they can play him 32, 33, 34 minutes and win these close games.
What can they do to remedy that, if anything, there, Chris?
How about get out to a lead early on?
They did tonight. They were up by 5 at the end of the first quarter.
Well, how about sustain it? Sustain the lead. You know, keep it going. Keep the foot on the gas. How about, is that too much to ask? You know, look, do we know how good Utah is? Do we really know how good Indiana is right now? Look, they may end up being very well when it's all said and done, but they're not the Cavaliers. I don't care if Kyrie's not there. I don't care if Shumpert's not there. They're not the Cavaliers. And I think they will go out there and their job is to go out there and give the team props, give them credit. That's a good team out there. Yeah. I'm not buying that right now. It might be, but I'm just not going there right now.
Cavs have won 7 games in a row, and Chris is just not buying it. 118-114 the final tonight against the Utah Jazz.